This video was published by MBKP International. In this video we're going to talk about our electric paper cutters. This is an EC19 Pro, but it will work for any of them. When this back panel is too high, like this side here, see how you can see the gap of it there between the frame and between the frame here and the actual back panel. It's raised up. It could cause some issues, and I just made it raised up just for a demonstration of this video. Anyway, let's show you how to fix it. On this machine here, we got the hood off here. You don't need to take your hood off. We got this panel in front off too, the table in front. You don't need to take that off. The only thing you need to do is get yourself a Phillips screwdriver. Anyway, Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to have a Phillips screw here, and you take that screw out and you loosen that one. That will come down. Do the same thing to this side, and there's your plastic shield is right here. Remove that plastic shield. Just pull straight back. And then you're going to take off as you're facing the back, you're going to take out, you're going to take off the side you have the problem with, whether it's your left or right or both. If it's both, you take both of them off. If it's your right side, you take the right off. So in this case, it's the right side is on facing the back, so I take these screws out. There's one there and one there. If you're taking this off, there's just one there and one there. And when you take these off, once these screws are out, you can just pull this straight back, and then kind of straight back and out. Okay. And basically what we're looking at is this right here. And it's adjustable. It's just if your panel's up too high, this is either up too high. Sometimes they put a thin metal strip on top of this that you can just remove. For whatever reason, they put it on there to try to raise it up, and they raised it up too high and they didn't even realize it. It's just a little thin strip of metal, and you can just remove it. You just want to make sure these two magnets are here. When you do stuff like sometimes you take off that panel, these magnets could actually move. Let me see. So I've seen them where they move, they're just magnets, and they can move and flop down like that, and then you don't have your magnet there. So just make sure when you're done with this, you put your magnets back. They're both back up in there. Okay, this side I just made too high. It's pretty simple. You just need a 5mm hex wrench or Allen wrench, and just loosen a little bit. A few turns. I'll do this side a little bit, but I don't think it needs much. And you're just going to come down and just see this is, you can see this is adjustable. And when it's up too high, first if you have that metal strip, take that off and then check it to see if that's enough. If you don't have the metal strip, then you can just go straight to this adjustment. If you have that metal strip, take that off and then put your panel back on and see if that fixes it. If that doesn't, then take it off, then you can do some more adjustment. But if the problem with this is if you go down too far, then this will be higher and your paper is going to come in and bump into it. So you got to get it just right to where they're perfectly even, where this is the same height as that. And it looks like it's just like maybe a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters down from this, what it's looking like about. I'm just taking a guess at this right now. I'm going to snug that down, then snug the other side down. You want to make sure it's the same all the way across. You can kind of eyeball it and see. And just snug them down tight with your 5mm hex wrench. It doesn't have to be super tight, just has to be pretty snug tight. And you're going to put this back in. And on this, before you do this, I should have told you, it's a good idea to move this back, this paper push back to about the 18-inch mark, and then unplug your paper cutter, okay? And then putting this back on, one thing you come here and you slide it, you want to tilt it just a little bit, not that much, just a hair, because there are some plastic fingers here, push down and you don't want to catch this and break them. So you got to make sure you go under those plastic fingers. Okay, and then once you're under them, you're good. And now you can just slide this back into place. A lot of times they'll bump this and you got to pull up here to get it over it and push it in place. And then just feel with your fingers if they're even. This one I can feel it bumping the thing just a hair. So I'm going to take this back off and raise it just a hair because I can feel it bumping. If your paper's being pushed here, it's going to bump into that right there because this is actually lower, slightly lower now than that. So I need to do a slight adjustment and just lift it up 1/4 millimeter so these are perfectly even so the paper doesn't grab it when it's pushing through. But that's basically all you do. I'll take this off and do another quick adjustment. But once you get this back in place, you just line up your screw holes here. You can move this, you can pull this in and out here like that. You can get those screw holes lined up and put your screws back in. But again, one thing you want to make sure is these magnets are in place here. Sometimes they can flop down there. Get those magnets in place. When you're putting this back in, just slide it in like that and it should be good. Just you got to raise that or lower it depending on what you need to do. This video is published by MBKP